Hi everyone, Chris Alonso here, giving you a compare, contrast, and review for Watchmen the movie and Watchmen the graphic novel. And well, this is the only reason I really want to do. Well, that's the thing. I don't have the best way to sum up the plot because, as many fans would say, this is probably the most, well, not really confusing, but like really the most detailing graphic novel ever. Where, well, how I can sum it up is this. Okay, I'm gonna try to sum it the best way I can. It's 1985, and pretty much an alternate reality of where superheroes are real, and pretty much what what would happen if superheroes were real, and how would everything react to it. And pretty much at the beginning, well, during which a keen act is put in, where it's saying that the only way we can actually be an active hero is you must show your true identity. And if he, well, pretty much, his song does kind of sound a bit similar. Well, I'll get to that. Sorry. And most of them, well, one of them who was named Rorschach, continued to do illegal vigilante work without revealing who he is. Only like the second Night Owl pretty much retired. The second Silk Spectre pretty much retired too. Only Dr. Manhattan and the comedian are the only two ones who are active. And when we start off, we find out that the comedian got murdered, and Rorschach, who must investigate this murder, at which you have a theory it must be a mass killing. And that's where it kind of starts off, where he introduces all the other characters. Oh, I forgot I mentioned Adrian Burden. I'm sorry, who was also one of the mass heroes. Pretty much tell the world who he is, so that he can continue whatever he wants to do, and pretty much use his own persona as a way of business. And that's how far I can really sum up the plot to. There's really like a lot of saying, like, pretty much ages. That's how it kind of boils down to. Or you have like other things, or where you get to see through other people views of what's going on. Like, yeah, it might be going on World War III, and you got a lot of people's perspective. Like, you get to see two guys, a news vendor, and pretty much a kid who just likes reading comic books, kind of like us. But instead of reading superheroes, you read pirate comics, and that pretty much does do relevant from today's world and the world inside the comic. I wish you guys could see there's a big connection into it, and it shows a lot of that. And also it goes to, like, well, most of the masked heroes origin tale. Like in the second chapter, it shows you, well, it shows you the origin tale of the comedian, but in the eyes of the others instead from his eyes, because he's dead. Duh. Where you get to see from when he first started out with the first masked heroes, and then later on by different others. by Dr. Manhattan and by the Night Owl and by Ozymandias. I think that's how you pronounce it. And well, like I say, it does go into a lot of detail. It doesn't go from like his origin. It goes from Dr. Manhattan's origin, where it kind of goes back and forth between each one, between his past and his present each time. And then you get to see Rorschach's origin, of course, Silk Spectre. Except, and also, like I said, Adrian, but except for the Night Owl, which really his origin is, well, is really nothing to really be worthwhile about. Whew. And also, during like the 3 chapters, you get to read a story within the story, which is called Under the Hood, where it's kind of a prologue or introduction of the first Night Owl and his telling of the first superheroes, like the first Silk Spectre, and also and of course later on what happened to the other superheroes. Oh, one of them became nuts, one of them got, actually 2 of them got murdered, and I pretty much kind of fell apart.